Deaths in the Bondi Beach shootings in Sydney have risen to 16 people. Australian authorities said a child taken to hospital was among those now known to have died. At least 42 others were injured when two gunmen opened fire. The country's Prime Minister has described this morning's attack as an evil act of anti-Semitism. World leaders condemned the shootings, which targeted Australia's Jewish community as they celebrated Hanukkah. New South Wales police have declared it a terrorist attack.
Moments before the tragedy, families enjoying a sunny evening at Bondi Beach, marking the start of Hanukkah.
Just to feel Hanukkah.
But the joy quickly gave way to panic as gunshots were heard.
Just saw an older lady get shot and she was on the floor. Saw an older guy get shot, very badly injured on the left-hand side, and I just saw a bunch of people screaming, run towards me. I didn't know what was going on.
The deadly attack took place shortly before 7 p.m. local time at the Archer Park next to the Bondi Pavilion, where hundreds celebrated one of the biggest Jewish festivals. The gunmen were firing from a footbridge close to a children's playground. This footage purports to show two attackers shooting from that bridge. One of them was killed, while authorities investigate whether a third offender was involved.
What we saw yesterday was an act of pure evil, an act of anti-Semitism, an act of terrorism on our shores in an iconic Australian location.
The death toll has been rising in the hours following the attack as some of those critically injured, including a child, died in hospital. Police also reported discovering a vehicle containing explosive devices in the area. In the Jewish community, shock and disbelief.
We are now seeing the dreaded, inevitable result of anti-Semitism doing exactly what it has done to our people just a generation ago.
Israeli officials accuse the Australian government of failing to curb the rise of anti-Semitism.
Anti-Semitism is a cancer. It spreads when leaders stay silent and you must replace weakness with action.
Violent attacks on synagogues, homes and cars have increased in Australia since the October 7th attack by Hamas. The Australian Jewish Association said the Bondi Beach tragedy was entirely foreseeable. Tanya Royd, RT News.
Well, in the past half hour or so, the New South Wales Police Commissioner, Mal Lanyon, has been speaking at a press conference and he's given key further details in relation to the attackers and the weapons used. He said that the alleged offenders were a father and son duo and that the police were not looking for a third offender.
We have progressed at pace overnight with that investigation, and as a result of investigations undertaken, I can say that we are not looking for a further offender. We are satisfied that there were two offenders involved in yesterday's incident. One is deceased, the second is in critical but stable condition in hospital at the moment. The offenders are a 50-year-old and 24-year-old male who are father and son. The 50-year-old is deceased, the 24-year-old is currently in hospital at the moment. As part of the investigation, we conducted two search warrants last night, one at Bonnie Rig and a second at Campsie. The 50-year-old male is a licensed firearms holder. He has 6 firearms licensed to him. We are satisfied that we have 6 firearms from the scene yesterday, but also as a result of the search warrant at the Campsie address. Ballistics and forensic investigation will determine this morning that those 6 firearms are the 6 that were licensed to that man, but also that they were used in the offence yesterday at Bondi.
The New South Wales Police Commissioner speaking in the last half hour or so. Well, the region's Premier, Chris Minns, has hailed as a hero a man who tackled and disarmed one of the gunmen. The bystander lunged at the armed attacker and wrestled the weapon from his hands, forcing the gunman ultimately to flee. Local media have identified the man as 43-year-old Ahmed Al-Ahmad, a fruit shop owner, and he sustained gunshot wounds through his actions. Mr. Minns has said that he has no doubt there were many people alive as a result of his brave actions. Here Gardaí have said that patrols at centres and events for the Irish Jewish community would be increased following today's terror attack in Sydney. The Justice Minister, Jim O'Callaghan, has said that he spoke to the Garda Commissioner this evening about ensuring there is adequate protection for the Jewish community and said he would attend a Hanukkah event tomorrow to sympathise with its members. Political leaders here have joined the global condemnation of today's attack.
Today's shocking attack in Sydney has been widely condemned around the world, Ireland's being no exception. In a statement this evening, President Catherine Connolly said she wanted to express her deepest sympathy to the Jewish community everywhere, especially all who have lost loved ones in the attack. President Connolly said such violence is to be utterly condemned and has no place for all of us who are committed to peace. In a separate statement, Taoiseach Micheál Martin said he was shocked and appalled by the attack, which he said was targeting Sydney's Jewish community. The Taoiseach said there is no place for hatred or violence, adding what happened was evil and an example of the murderous hate spawned by anti-Semitism. Those views repeated by other politicians today.
I'm absolutely shocked and really saddened to hear of the appalling attack on the Jewish community this morning in Bondi Beach in Australia, and I just want to offer my sincerest condolences to the families who have been impacted, but to the entire Jewish community.
It's absolutely horrific, the scenes that we have seen, and I think the world is horrified. Our thoughts go out to the people of Australia, the Irish in Australia, particularly the Jewish community in Australia, and most of all the friends and family of those who are deceased. It doesn't bear thinking about it.
Meanwhile, former Justice Minister Alan Shatter has said the Irish government is not doing enough to tackle anti-Semitism worldwide.
The failure of the government to push back on that, its utter failure to confront anti-Semitism in Irish society is a huge cause of concern. We've had the event in Manchester, we've had this tragedy now in Sydney. My concern is where next.
We have utterly and will continue to utterly condemn any type of anti-Semitic behaviour. What has happened this morning is utterly appalling.
Fia Grokiana, RTE News.
Let's return now to our top story, where it's been confirmed that 16 people have been killed in today's terror attack on Bondi Beach in Sydney, which targeted the Jewish community. We can speak now to 9 News' Jack Kahn, who's joining us live from Sydney. Jack, thank you. A lot of detail emerging in that press conference this evening. What are the latest details that you have to hand?
Good morning to you. Well, I can tell you that the two assailants in this situation, the two shooters, were father and son, a 50-year-old and a 24-year-old, and it's believed they were working together in this terror attack targeting Jewish people at the iconic Bondi Beach here in Sydney, Australia. Now, the father, a 50-year-old, was shot dead by police here on the scene. The 24-year-old, the son, is right now in critical condition in hospital. There were initial fears there may be a third suspect involved. I can tell you tonight those fears have been alleviated. Police have been able to work through that theory, and they've been able to dismiss that theory. So just two people involved here, a father and a son. The timeline becoming clear. They were in their home in the Sydney suburbs, but then the night before the attack, it appears they've actually gone to an Airbnb before carrying out the attack. And I can also tell you tonight that it's believed that 6 registered firearms were used in this attack, registered to that 50-year-old man.
And Jack, what is the feeling in Australia as the nation woke up this morning after this attack?
Yeah, good morning. Well, I mean, here you can see it. These are all members of the public that have just come out here in their own time to lay flowers, to lay tributes. We're expecting the Australian Prime Minister as well. A real sense of sorrow. This is, we haven't seen anything like this in Australia in years, perhaps since the Port Arthur massacre, but this has really struck a chord in the community here in Australia and particularly also right around the world. But we do have the Prime Minister here, so I will unfortunately have to leave you to it this evening, but confirming the sad news, 15 people have been killed here and 40 are in hospital as I join you right now.
Jack Kahn, we appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. Thank you.
Thank you.